So in the next few minutes, we'll be going over connecting tools into your Claude Code. We'll be connecting SwaggerHub as well as GitHub. So all of this will be created by Claude. We'll just be prompting every step of the way to build a customer API. And if you are building projects, this is one tool that you would need to actually be faster and get your project running. So let's get cracking on that. This is just the end result of our Swagger API that we created, customer based API. And then we'll basically have all of this in Claude. We're going to start by Claude Code. We want to maybe, let's say, we'll change the working directory into a new one. But before we do that, let's go and add a connector here. So we'll add connector. There's a number of connectors you can basically integrate with on your Claude. It uses MCP to configure all of this, but you don't have to worry about that for now. We have Canva, Figma, Atlassian, Notion, Slack, Gmail, Google Drive, Calendar. A lot of these are available to connect in your Claude. So we'll basically be using Swagger for now because we want to see how all of this will work. We also have Vercel if you want a front-end deployment, but let's focus on the Swagger one for now and build our project. I'm gonna connect to my Gmail account. So let me just reconnect this quickly. I'm gonna relaunch that connector, and I'm gonna use my Google account. And once this is authorized, then our SwaggerHub basically will have been connected successfully, and then we can go back to Claude Code. And by now it should be done. Let me just try reconnect and open that again. Let's see. Okay, let me close this and go back to my Claude code side. Let's see. In my connectors, manage connectors, I want to, okay, now we have it there. Let me just click on connect again. So this is just to make sure that it's connected, and once it's connected, you will see it has a pop-up there, connected successfully. I can see it's there with all the permissions and the full description. So in the permissions, you have a wide range of capabilities that you can do, and you can basically choose which permissions you want to need approval or always allow. I'm going to put this on always allow because I want it to run through no without any issues. I'm going to connect GitHub integration as well. So I want GitHub to be connected so that it can basically create repositories if I need to, or just go through a repository. So I'm just going to log in here, and now I'm going to authorize this on my GitHub mobile. I'm just going to verify the code. And once this is done, what we will do then, we have two connectors that are now integrated successfully. So we're going to go back to our Claude, and it's just refreshing and reloading everything. Now I have two tools that are available for me to basically, I can have a conversation with them and start building projects with these tools. If you want more tools, that's the same process that we are doing here. So what we want to do now is just set up like a new session. This is the old session. On our previous video we did that, but now we want a new session, and in the new session we want to use a new folder as our working directory. So we're going to create CloudCon 01, and then once that is sorted, we want to write our query, create a full CRUD Swagger API for, let's say, like customer data as an example. So this is just like a Swagger document YAML file, nothing hectic, nothing crazy. We remember our connectors is Swagger as well as GitHub. So what we'll do is once the Swagger file is created, we want to publish this into SwaggerHub, and then it should be available for us. And then once SwaggerHub is done, we'll do GitHub. So let's check SwaggerHub. and see how that looks like. So if you don't have an account, that is fine. You can still sign up, make sure your organization is set up, your profile is set up, and then you can connect the site. So you see here, my next query is connect to SwaggerHub. I'm writing this query because I wanted to establish the credentials that we need, and then what I will do is just provide the API key, and you will see I'll just say use this API key, so I'll pass it there, and then what it will do is it will try to connect via the API key, but it will also need the owner ID. The owner ID, it might say username on Claude side, but it's actually the owner ID, and you will see when we add it here. Now it's trying to connect, and you can see it also recommends for me to check the username and those credentials. So what I will do is go back to my profile. As you can see, my APIs, there's nothing there. I have no API that exists, and all of it's going to be created by Claude. So now I'm going to say create the Swagger doc in SwaggerHub, and you will see it won't actually succeed because it needs the owner ID. So let's wait for it to try and do that. I'm going to allow it on the few steps, and then once it's done, we will then provide the owner ID. Okay, so it's running, and all right, so it's processing that, and you can see it's trying to get the owner ID. It can't. So then let me go and log in again in SwaggerHub. So I'm gonna log in, and then once that is done, I'm just gonna click on start trial, and you see my profile is basically, there's nothing in there, it's empty, and it's just a basic profile like that. So what I want to do is go to because I've started a trial, so it generated my new API key, so I'm going to add the new API key there. And then what I want to do then, after this API key, I'll then put the owner ID. Okay. So I'm writing all these prompts so that you are aware of what is expected of you. So I'm going to go into the organization settings, and I will be taking the owner ID, which is that one there. Then I'm going to say use this username, and I'm going to paste the owner ID. And now it's going to process everything. Allow all of these, allow all of that, and now it's running. It's running, and I will allow all the steps, and now we get a 200 success, which means everything ran through successfully. And we also have a URL that we can click on and see the API. So we're going to click on that URL and see how the API looks like in the SwaggerHub, and you can see this is the API. We have the Swagger YAML and we have the Swagger UI, both available with all the details. We didn't write any of this. We just told Claude to create this for us on using natural language. Nothing fancy, nothing specific. It just generated all of this for us, and we can view the API and we can try to transact, but obviously it uses localhost 8080. So let's proceed to create the GitHub repository for this API. Now we're gonna need to set up our GitHub account to connect in a similar fashion. So you'll see we have our GitHub steps. So here we just need to create a token, and we will create the classic token. That is what it requested. We'll call this Claude local token. We're gonna give it repo full access, and then we're gonna generate this token. So you have more permissions you can grant, but for now we'll just give it repo. That should suffice. We're gonna take our token and we tell Claude to use this token, and we'll allow everything in these steps, and we'll allow that. And yeah, you can see it created the repo, and we can click on that link And now we have the repo, but there's no readme here, which is very concerning for a GitHub repo. So we're gonna ask Claude to add the readme for us. You can see all of this is prompts and prompts and prompts. Nothing that we write that is specific to anything. So we're gonna say update the readme file to add the description of the API. And then what it'll do now is it's writing the README for the API. It's going to link the SwaggerHub link for it and also add some examples of the API and commit all of that into our repository. And this is the step, and it did all of that. If we click on the link now, you will see it will take us there, and now we have a README. We have all the details, all the overview, the endpoints, the examples, and the external links to SwaggerHub. We click on SwaggerHub, and you can see this is the API side, and we basically have all the details for the API. And this was all prompted in natural language. The GitHub is there and everything else. Now this leads us to the end of this particular tutorial, but for the next one, just to prepare you, we'll be looking at skills, and we'll be adding skills like Canva design or whatever the